Hello and welcome to Pravus Gaming and EU4, the Cossacks playing as Muscovy. It's going to take me a little bit of time to get used to that intro. I'm used to saying Common Sense Scotland. This doesn't quite roll off the tongue the same way, but I will adapt. It's sort of what I do. Anyway, so in the last video we finished up our war against Novgorod. We took a fair chunk of territory, which is fun. Of course, now we have to worry about some rebel factions, but, we'll deal with that in time. It won't be a problem. And we are eagerly watching the war against Kazan and the Golden Horde. Let's see what happens there. Alright. We can take a mission, so we can either create a proper fleet, which would acquire 75% of the naval force limit, which is currently 13, so we need to build, 8 or 9 ships? I mean, we could do that, but the only sea provinces we have are in the White Sea, and that's kind of a worthless trade node, so, meh, not a priority. Not really worth the money. Not that we're going to spend the money on anything else in particular, but still. Rival of a rival. Make Crimea like us. That seems possible. Conquer Novgorod, no points because we have a several-year truce. So let's go ahead and pick up the mission for Crimea and send my diplomat down that direction. Alrighty do. Coolie bop. So, hope you guys are excited for the rest of the series. I know that I am. As of the time that I'm recording this, my first episode just went online. Gotten some pretty nice feedback thus far. Gotten some very encouraging comments. I'm glad you guys liked the epilogue. Definitely will be doing that for any future EU4 series that I do. Wurzburg has accepted an electorate offer. Really? That's interesting. Okay. Well, anyway. So yeah, now I did see some interesting comments. For example, we should conquer Scotland because you know reasons. I mean, yeah, sure. If we can totally conquer all of Scandinavia and Scotland still exists by the time we get there, then yeah, let's go ahead and conquer Scotland. That'd be fun. On a more serious note, though, I did see some people suggest that, or one person anyway, that maybe we can get Lithuania to like us by using some of the new diplomatic options. Don't think that actually would work, but I also think that it's totally irrelevant because 9 times out of 10, Lithuania will fall, under a Poland personal union, which has already happened, which actually works out really well for us because Lithuania, no longer being a sovereign nation, does not have any rivals. They can't have any rivals, which means they hate us a little bit less, which is good. Actually, the only thing we need to do in order to make sure that Lithuania is not aggressive toward us at all is to just make Poland like us. So we can probably do that. And once I finish up one of my claims, I probably will. I also saw comments from Nobody, and I'm not being facetious, I mean literally the guy was called Nobody, it turns out. Confused me at first, and then I kind of laughed about it. Apparently with Patriarch authority and the Orthodox religion, every few years, what was it, like 3 or 5 years or so, you gain an event that you can either gain or lose Patriarch authority, which is kind of cool. So thank you to Nobody. I mean, it just sounds funny to me when I say things like that. Thanks, Nobody. Like I'm being facetious. I'm not being facetious. I'm not being a jerk. Kazan just won their war, actually. Wow, okay. The Golden Horde will cede 5 provinces to Kazan. Wowzas. Alright, Kazan won. I was not expecting that at all. Kazan is allied with Crimea. That's unfortunate. Well, kind of hard to go to war against Kazan and still make Crimea like us to finish that mission, so I guess we'll hold off for at least a little while longer, but still, not really happy about that turn of events. Huh. Yep, there's that Casus Belli. Interesting. Alright, well, I guess we will just improve relations with Poland while we can. As long as Poland likes us, they shouldn't feel any need to expand on Lithuania's behalf, which seems to happen fairly infrequently anyway, but it's an option. Actually, I just saw something I should probably mention. So, you see here that Poland has an attitude toward us, and that's neutral, and we are currently friendly towards them. Now, it used to be that you were pretty much neutral all the time, or whatever. You really didn't have any control over this. Well, thanks to the new diplomatic feedback tab, we could go to manage our attitude manually and select friendly, hostile, threatened, neutral, and that would be an option. I don't think it really accomplishes all that much, but it kind of nudges the AI and says, hey, Poland, we should be friends. We should be friends. You like me, I like you, let's be friends. That's kind of how that works. Actually, there are a couple of things that I've noted since we last played. For example, I believe that if we force Livonian Order or Riga, one of the two, to become Orthodox through war, like a forced conversion, I believe we get an event that reduces tech cost, which is kind of nice. Oh, Dmitri died! No, we liked Dmitri. Dmitri was awesome! 343, go bye-bye. Aww. I am sad. I am very sad. But yeah, there's an event for that. Also, I should mention, before other people do in the comments section, so I did say that I want to westernize in this series. That's going to be one of our end goals. That's all well and good, except the rules of that have changed a little bit. So we could westernize the normal way, go through the upheaval, play a lot of monarch points, and just westernize. That's fine. Now, it used to be that there was an alternative. You could either conquer Danzig, Prague, or Vienne, and you would gain a decision to westernize. No longer the case, at least not exactly. Prague and Vienne, that still works. You could get a decision. Danzig has been removed from that list, which is unfortunate for me because Danzig was the most accessible. So if we're going to westernize, we probably have to do it the hard way. There's not going to be an easy alternative like there used to be. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. We should probably hire another leader, shouldn't we? Yeah, let's... Well, actually, how's our king look? Our king's a 3-1-2. We might as well see what the king can do. Actually, he's not half bad, I guess. He's a 1-1-2-2. He's a pretty good siege leader. But he's not quite what I have in mind, so let's spend some power. We got a 3-2-1-1. Not amazing, but not bad. I mean, fire value doesn't have a lot of use for us at this stage in the game, but still, I can think of worse leaders to get at only 15 army tradition. Alright, Karelian separatists are getting pretty high. We should probably go ahead and raise up our army maintenance and be ready to deal with them post-haste. Let's put Fyodor... Hodor. No, Fyodor. Fyodor will be in charge of our army, and if the Karelian separatists, which are these two right here, decide to rebel, we will go and deal with them. Actually, should we march this other army up here as well? We probably should. I don't understand why I have military access through Novgorod. Why is... That's a new thing in the game. You definitely didn't used to be able to do that, but now we're black flagged and we can totally just march through. Why? I don't know, but it's a thing. Wavering loyalty of the burghers. Your relations need to be maintained as their numbers grow, and some of the burghers grow older. Our warm relations has grown colder. They lose 10 loyalty. Ouch, that sucks. Take a look-see. Well, fortunately, the burghers still like us enough that we're gaining our trade efficiency. Wait a minute, wasn't this 5% earlier? Why is it 10% now? I feel like there may have been a hot patch, because I'm almost positive, like 90-something% sure, that when we first did our Muscovy series, we started from part 1, that there was a 5% growth there. That's interesting. We need to go ahead and split off one guy from this army, actually, because we are above our supply limit, and we're going to be suffering unnecessary attrition. So let's go ahead and split that up. There goes a corps. All right, wonderful. So we'll be reducing our overextension just a teensy-weensy bit. Unrest is still pretty high, though. Years of separatism is our primary concern. As usual, it's always about the separatism. And there goes our last corps as well. Golden Horde declared war on Circassia. Circassia looks like it lost some lands to Gazehumiki. Switzerland accepted with Austria. Imperial liberation and all that cool stuff. Meh, whatever. It's interesting, but not too relevant. This apparently also still has supply issues. Oh, right, the seasons. I have to keep in mind now that we are Russia, and winters are harsh, and supply limits can dwindle in the winter season. We should probably consider go ahead and building some more units, shouldn't we? We have money, we have force limit, we're not really doing anything with it. Let's go ahead and just start training up some extra troops, a couple of extra cavalry, I suppose. We got money, we're just doing nothing with it. We might as well. We might as well. Velizny II Temny embarrasses the court. Our king, the Grand Knyz, committed an absolute faux pas today in front of the court. And we lose... Oh my god, we lose a stability. Gosh dang it, dude. Why would you do that to me? Well, we don't want negative stability. That can cause some pretty unpleasant issues. So we'll spend 95 points, I suppose. Gosh darn. That sucks. Alright. You know what it is? It is what it is. It's alright. Novgorod separatists are now actually the most prominent force. That's upsetting. Let's go ahead and move these guys toward all the nets so I'm better able to reinforce if they do fire. Hopefully they fire in these 3 regions and not down in Kulm. If they do go down to Kulm, I'm going to have a harder time dealing with them. I could raise autonomy here, but it is an 11 development province. I'd really rather not. I'd really rather not. But we'll see. It's probably unlikely that I can avoid it. A rebellion seems almost inevitable. So let's go ahead and get these guys to all start grouping up. and we will deal with them appropriately. Actually, I should mention there's a new feature in the game. So, you see this little button right here? These little add some infantry units? Yeah, that's a thing. You can click this right here. So if I wanted to click build Drushina Cavalry, what'll happen is it'll start picking one of the nearby provinces, it'll train a unit, and automatically send it to join with this army. Pretty cool, honestly. It's kind of like using templates, but a little bit more personal toward a specific army, so you don't have to think about it. I like that addition. It's nice. Now, keep in mind, if you move the army to another province, then it'll kind of derp out and say, well, we arrived in Kargopol, but the army wasn't there, so I don't know what we was supposed to do. That's pretty much what the AI does. It's also pretty much how the AI sounds. If it sounds a little bit derpy and whiny, that's how the AI is. So get used to that. All right. We got 6,000 more troops sitting around over here. I mean, we can build more. We got plenty of money, and we have nothing to spend it on because we don't have the tech for it. So we have 7 more force limit. Let's build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And actually, let's go ahead and make use of the new button I just told you about. So click, click. You can see here, we currently have 2. We are building up to 4 in parentheses. And it is going to take advantage of the nearby province of Murom and the one that's currently on, Suzdal. And it'll automatically send these to join the army. Pretty cool. I like that. It's a good way to not have to micromanage things quite as much. A little bit more autonomy is a good thing. Oh gosh, we're gonna have both these guys fire like at the same time, aren't we? Oh, that will be unfortunate. How much will it take to harsh treatment you? 50 power versus 58 power. I don't want to deal with both of these at the same time. That's gonna be rough. I will undoubtedly have extra years of separatism if they both fire. I'm going to spend 50 power. I normally would not suggest this, but we're going to spend 50 power, and we're going to deal with that. I'm going to send these guys down over here. I'm going to send this 6K to go and join them. And we're going to try to let the Novgorod separatists fire first, and then deal with them the old-fashioned way. There they are. All right, so we're automatically firing. Fortunately, we had our full morale, so that's good. That's 14K down there. That's quite a few troops. Quite a substantial number. Let's go ahead and split these 2 stacks down over here. I want to take the leader off. Fyodor is no longer needed. We will instead put you in charge over here. Thank you, sir. All right, once we get some more armies together, yeah, we're going to get our use of separatism here. That's pretty much unavoidable. And awesome, we did make Crimea like us, so let's go ahead and take our diplomat back. Missions! Conquest of Tver. Oh, well, I'm currently working on a claim with you, but okay, we'll conquer it, we'll gain prestige, and we'll gain 3 development on that province. I am totally okay with that. So yeah, as soon as we put down this rebellion, we will just conquer Tver. In fact, our armies are already kind of close and by and ready to go. So that's convenient, isn't it? Yes, sir, it is. Alright, go to Muscovy. We'll keep an eye on the Karelian separatists. So that's 16K with a pretty good leader. You have a 1011. We should, I say should, be able to deal with that, so let's go and deal with that. It looks like our ally Pskov is going to join in on the fight. Good for you, sir. And let's end that battle. All right. Good. Goody gumdrop. So, as soon as we have sieged this down, we have a chance for our army to reinforce just a wee little bit. We're losing money while it reinforces. It's not much of a surprise. Let's go ahead and get ready to conquer Tver. And that province is actually going to be worth quite a bit to us once it gains an extra 3 development. It's currently 22 development. I mean, that's pretty good. It's actually going to be very expensive now that I think about it. You know the other thing that I was going to do. So here's what I was going to do before we got that mission. So a new interaction you have in this game is the ability to transfer a claim. So if I go to subjects, they've actually changed the interaction menu quite a bit. So Yaroslav, interact, I can grant a core or claim. And I would be able to say, I'm going to grant my claim to Tver, to them. The one that I fabricated, I can give to them. And that's kind of a nice way to kind of force your vassals to have those extra claims that you want to declare war. Basically, I just hand this off to them. I would be spending diplomatic points when I eventually annex them, but not admin points. Kind of nice. Unfortunately, I just got a mission. So we kind of have to do it. And I think that, yeah, it has to be owned by me, not by Yaroslav. So, yeah, I kind of have to take the province. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So let's just go ahead and declare the war. You has no allies. Good for me. We do not need to call in Sweden, although here's that option to promise territorial gains to try and get them to join. And yeah, Sweden does not owe Muscovy at least 10 favors, so that's negative 1,000 reasons to join the war. Yeah, that's interesting. Alright, let's go ahead and declare that war and march right on in there. You will arrive on the 9th. You would arrive too early. I want my general to get there first. So if I want you, that's fine. We'll just go ahead and just jump straight in onto that fight. Here comes... Nope, Yaroslav's not doing a thing. Alright. Not a thing. Not a dang thing. Let's detach a siege here. No, that's not quite what I had in mind. I wish that it wasn't quite so derpy when it comes to detaching a siege and taking your leader along with it. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. All right. Let's go ahead and send these armies up closer to deal with the Karelian separatists when they come. We actually can go ahead and reduce our army maintenance a fair bit. I'm going to leave it a little bit higher so they can continue to reinforce their manpower, but we do not need maintenance in order to siege down a province. And this leader does have some siege value, so that will speed things along just a wee little bit. And now let's pay attention to everything else that happens out here. So let's go ahead and improve relations with Sweden a little bit, because they are our ally. Who else could we improve relations with? How about... No guy makes the most sense to me, so we'll improve relations with you on the off chance that eventually we can do something with that. We want to play the hordes against each other. We don't want any of them to become dominant. Once one of them becomes dominant and conquers all the other provinces, it's going to be really hard to deal with them. Whoops. What's this? Western arms trade happened to us. This is the event that I thought would happen if we forced Riga or the Livonian Order to become Orthodox. So I guess I'm not really sure what this event is or how it started. But it did. For years we've been in awe of our neighbors' technological advances, but this is soon about to change as we manage to convince them to help us improve our deplorable army. So, does this mean that because we got a Western nation like Sweden or Poland to like us, that they gave that event? I don't really know how that works. But it's a thing, and I'm not complaining about nothing. Let's go ahead and insult the Golden Horde. Because I wouldn't mind getting a little extra power projection without having to wait for that cooldown on sending insults. Because you can't just send 3 out in quick succession. You have to send 1 and wait a few years. So we'll go ahead and send that. Keep our power projection a little bit higher. So Golden Horde, up yours. There you go. You're insulted now. You should feel very insulted. Very insulted and angry. Insulted rival. Yep, we're up to 67 power projection. We'll continue to improve with Sweden. Rebel Uprising, Karelian Separatists, 11.9% chance in these 2 provinces for things to happen. The supply limit here is... what? 10 and 10. So we should take 4,000 more troops. Let's see, are these balanced? 5 and 1, 4 and 2. So we will take 1, 2, doop. So we'll send these 4,000 troops off that direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. Send these guys up that direction so that they will be in a better position. We may want to consider raising our army maintenance back up now. Only because these guys could technically fire off in quick succession. And all of a sudden we'll have a 100% while these guys are still really low morale and get some nasty stack wipes. I'd really rather avoid that for fairly obvious reasons. I just hit the H key. Didn't mean to do that. We have finished improving relations with no guy, huh? Alright. What else could we do? Who else could we improve with? Is there anyone else we really care about? Not really. Not really. We can't talk to Uzbek. We're already improving with Poland and Sweden. I don't know who else we would want to talk to. Who else hates the Golden Horde? Crimea, Kazan, and Muscovy. Alright. Well, I guess we'll just sort of maintain that for a little bit, but I don't really care that much. Siege at Tvor is done. Let's go ahead and actually, nope, we'll pull a guy back from no guy because it no longer matters. We'll end this war, we'll conquer this territory, we'll finish our mission. Give me all of your money as well. Thank you, sir. And because you are no longer in exist, we can't have you give up any claims or anything along those lines. So there we go. We'll take the province. Thank you. That is 0.28 inflation for us. How fun. We should go ahead and core this. 25% overextension from one province. That's pretty serious, isn't it? Rival of our rival. We need to make the Teutonic Order like us. Okay. We have a target, everybody. We have a target. We just have to make them like us. We don't have to ally them. Just like us. Like me. All right. Well, that's going to be enough for this video. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Estates demand. Oh, wait, we got too much territory. The clergy want more stuff. You know what? I was going to say we will go ahead and do other things, but hold off. Okay. We need to find... No, that's not what I wanted. Dupe. Estates. We can go ahead and customize some of our tabs here. So estates, we know that these three are handed off to the boyars and these two are handed off to the clergy. So what's a pretty high autonomy province? Do we have any with autonomy? No. So let's go ahead and pick up development as a map mode. And click on that. It's not a very easy way to look at this, is there? 6, 10, 15... This 6 development province is probably pretty good. We're going to hand this one off to the clergy. There we go. And that seems to have solved the problem for us. They now have 11% control, which is within reason for them. The boyars have actually lost a lot of control since we expanded, so that's pretty good. All right, now I'm going to end this video. So thank you guys for watching. This has been Pravus with EU4 the Cossacks. If you enjoyed this video, then hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.